We hope everyone is enjoying our 2022 Brewbound Live Business Conference. We just handed out our awards in Santa Monica and named our class of rising stars. So let's meet those rising stars. Joining me now is Jess and Rich Fierro and the team from Atrevida Beer Company in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Jess and Rich and team, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, congratulations to you all. Jess, you're the head brewer there at Atrevida. You were just on our Brew Talks conversation series, though, and we stopped in Colorado for the Great American Beer Festival. And we were so impressed that we wanted to name you guys a rising star this year. And so congratulations to you guys.
Thank you so much. It's extraordinary to be recognized in this way, and we're humbled and super grateful. So,
well, you've really staked your place in Colorado Springs with a portfolio of beers inspired by Mexican flavors. Like I said, you joined us at Brew Talks, and one of the things that really stood out to me was something you said. Recipe creation is 10% recipe and 90% heart, and that's something you really drive home there at Atrevida. So when you're creating that recipe, what are you looking for? What do you really want to create when you're looking to mix those flavors?
you know what? I work very differently than most brewers. I have to be inspired first. I always look at what is going to be my muse, who inspires me, the passion behind the story of why. Why does that person or does that culinary dish or does that candy inspire me? From there, I break it down into different components, and I literally will break it down to, there's this tiniest bit of a chocolate kind of roasty feeling that I get from this person. They love coffee. They enjoy roastiness, dark chocolate. These are all things that I put into that beer based on either a person's personality or different components that the culinary dish in terms of flavors will impart, or candies. But for me, it really comes down to there's an inspiration and a story behind every single beer that I make.
It sounds incredibly personal.
Yes, yeah. Every beer, and there's some that are just fun. I did mention at Brew Talks my drunken churro. It's a Belgian wit beer. It's got agave in it. It's got cinnamon in it. It's one of my favorite desserts. I'm also a tequila drinker. I love tequila. So, I married both my worlds in a beer.
You mentioned it too at Brew Talks, is that you guys have a ton of fun names with your beers. So tell us a little bit about some more of those.
I'll tell you about the one that I'm drinking right now. This is our year-long Pride beer. We're big allies and huge supporters of our LGBTQ plus community. This one here is called Hibiscus Whoever You Want. It's a sangria style blonde ale. But it's bold, it's bright in flavor, it's colorful, it's sexy. And I think that all of those things embody that community. And so I poured that into a beer.
That sounds amazing. I would love to try that. So when you've mixed all these different flavors and brought so much personality and personal experience to the table, what do you think that opens up for the consumers who come into your tap room?
It's an experience, everywhere from, the minute that you walk in, it says diversity, it's on tap everywhere. On top of my front door, you walk in, everything in here screams Latin culture, which is my culture. You go to our beer menu, it's a diverse menu. You have a Juneteenth beer, you have a Hibiscus Whoever You Want beer, you have Dolores Huerta Mexican lager. You have La Gran Señora, which is, a tribute beer to one of my favorite Mexican singers. I have Maldito Amor for Vicente Fernandez, which is another one of my iconic, legendary singers. So everything in here kind of comes down to a personal touch and a personal story. And our stories aren't just to ourselves, right? They aren't just for us. Someone is going to resonate with something in that experience, culturally or personally. And that comes to life every day with our menu board.
Yeah, and Jess has always put forth introducing folks to something different, something new. She's never wanted to put culture in anybody's face. Listen, everybody's got their own thing and that's cool. And we're all about that. But we just want a place where everybody feels comfortable to share. And that's really what it's all about. We were always the Latino couple that showed up to breweries for a long time. And this time we've got our own place. And she's collaborated with Border X in San Diego. She's done some things to kind of broaden the perspective of a Colorado beer drinker. And I think it's kind of catching on out here.
One of the beers you mentioned was a Juneteenth beer. Tell us why that was important for you guys to make.
Well, if I could start with that. So we were part of the Black and Latino Leadership Coalition here in Colorado Springs back in 2018 when we first opened. And we were going to do a fundraiser for Juneteenth. And my buddy goes, hey, why don't you guys just do a drink? Because they have a Juneteenth drink. It's a big red soda. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So I looked it up. I literally got like a little strip of paper. I gave it to Jess. I said, can you make a beer out of this? And it was out of an encyclopedia, like Wikipedia or something. And she went wild. So she ended up doing the beer in 2018, and we've had it on since. And what was crazy was this whole resurgence and Juneteenth becoming a holiday and all this stuff. Meanwhile, anybody who's been here before was already exposed to that. So it wasn't something new in 2020. It was part of the regular day here. So that's the kind of stuff that she likes to reach out and do.
And it's also important to note that we do it with respect to the acknowledgement of whatever cause or day that we're
culture. Everything.
That particular day, we had a woman who came in from the Black and Latino Leadership Coalition, and we shut off all the music. And we had a brewery full of folks. I didn't know how it was going to go. I just thought, you know what, we'll give it a shot. We'll see how this goes. We shut off all the music. She stood in the center of the brewery. She did this reading as to the importance of Juneteenth and why it should be acknowledged and why, there's a celebration of sorts that happens, with Juneteenth. And she explained about the big red soda and everything. And then after that, I stood behind the bar and I said, okay, taps open. And that's exactly when I released it. And we turned the music back on. And I had folks coming to me after the event that were just so thankful because they didn't know anything about Juneteenth. They learned something and became an experience that everybody was a part of. So those kind of experiences for me speak volumes of what we truly are as a company.
Yeah, we need more of those in this industry. So when you all look back at 2022, what stands out for you as, the defining moments for Atrevida?
I think 2022 for me, I think I can sum it up in just like a simple phrase, right? There's no secret sauce or tip or anything to success. I mean, it's hard work, it's passion, it's networking. All of those things are going to be the things that bring you those blessings and those opportunities. It's adaptability. It's, in light of COVID and everything else, it's pivoting. It's all of those things more than anything, being able to adapt to what that year brings to you in the good sense and in the bad sense. So for me, that's kind of the derivative of success, I guess.
I honestly think she's ignoring the elephant in the room. This little one here was her right hand, and she got her scholarship to the San Diego State Master Brewing Certificate program. So she's been gone in and out all year, and she's been having to do all of her work, and she's not helping her brew. So that challenge for us has been really tough, but again, a blessing. We could only pray that our daughter would do something as cool as what her mom's doing, and she's doing it at 22. She's getting her certificate. And we're excited for her, but that drawback was it's a family business, and we lose one of our brewers. So, and not to mention our daughters are well bored. But it's been a great year for us, and we're hopefully going to do more next year.
That's amazing. You're creating a legacy there.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Well, we're almost to 2023. What do you see as the opportunities ahead for you all?
Oh my goodness. Well, the immediate is our 5-year anniversary, which we're very, very proud of, and we plan on going really big for. But outside of that, we do have some plans. I'm going to keep it a little bit under wraps, some expansion plans. But we're really excited to see what next year brings. I mean, I think that this year was kind of the year of breathing a little bit of breathing room. And now, come 2023, it's time to hit the road and hit it hard. So we're excited to see what it brings.
Yeah, and Dia de los Muertos, we're having our big event this weekend. So that's why it's up.
Oh, awesome.
She's not there.
She's not approved. She's yeah.
Well, one last question for you. What's one thing you've learned over the last year or so that you'd offer as a piece of advice to the entrepreneurs and brewers out there?
Oh gosh, I have a laundry list, but I will say there is power to authenticity. There's power to intent. There's power in your message. You know, especially to women, BIPOC community, LGBTQ plus community. Never apologize for creating a space for yourself where you're seen and your voice is heard. And always, always remember to pay it forward.
Jess, Rich, team, y'all are awesome. I'm glad we connected this year, and I'm really hoping we stay in touch in the new year and beyond. So congratulations again on being a rising star.
Thank you so much. Salud.
Salud.